Hey guys, welcome back. Ricky here. Alright, so this is the polishing portion of my Santoku sharpening session. Okay, so I posted a video of the sharpening session if you guys want to see that. Just click on the upper right hand corner. You guys will see the card there that will bring you to the video of me sharpening the knife on this stone right over here. And so right now, this is going to be the polishing portion. And you guys will, I'll walk you guys through the whole process of how I polish my knives. And I'm going to do it without any newspaper. I was actually requested by a subscriber to show a polishing, show a complete sharpening and polishing session without any sort of newspaper or any sort of stropping. Okay, outside of what the stones have. Okay, so this would be a really simple video. This is a Santoku. It's the Wusthof classic icon Santoku. Really easy knife to sharpen, and I have. So again, I've just finished sharpening the knife. Alright, so we're going to go through how I polish my knife. And there's a couple of ways to do it. I'll walk you guys through my personal favorite way to do it. And show you guys another method that a lot of folks do, which is not bad or wrong at all. They're just different methods. Okay, so the first method a lot of folks do is they go on their polishing stone and they will polish it the same way they sharpen it. Okay, and this is completely okay. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with that. That's actually a very valid way to do it. This is actually one of the ways I used to do it as well. But I have found that on a polishing stone, I have found that when I would do this method, sometimes my polishing it's good. It still comes out really, really nicely, but it's not as consistent as if I were simply to run the knife this way. Okay, so I'm stropping. Okay, this is essentially what I'm doing is I'm stropping, but I'm not stropping on leather or on any sort of compound. I'm stropping on the stone itself. Okay. So let's walk through the method of the stropping. Okay. So it's your grip is pretty much the same as if you were to sharpen your knife, okay? But the important thing when you're stropping, when you're on your higher polished stone, is you use very little pressure, okay? So from your angle, I don't know if you can tell I'm using very little pressure, but it may look like I'm using more pressure than I really am. But I'm not. I'm actually just letting the weight of my hands and letting the weight of the knife do the work for me. There is no pressure of me pushing down onto the stone, okay? And so the angle of approach, okay, so here's the thing. You want to find an angle that is as close to your sharpening angle as possible. So imagine this is a sharpening stone and I'm sharpening this way. That's my angle of approach, okay? That's exactly the same angle. There's no difference there. Also, in terms of the angle relative to the stone, it's the exact same angle, okay? So if you guys didn't see that video, this is how I find my sharpening angle. I drag the knife towards me or away from me, and I lean the knife towards the stone as I'm moving the knife, okay? And as soon as my knife, and I'm leaning the knife spine into the stone, so I'm leaning it down. I'm laying it down very slowly. And so by doing that, when I feel a slip, okay, when I feel I lose traction or friction, I back off just a hair. That is my sharpening angle. Okay, I have found that that is the easiest way to do it for all my knives, okay? And different people will tell you different things. Some people will tell you to lay a couple of quarters or pennies down and then lay the spine onto those coins. That works fine, except not all knives are made with the same thickness and angle, okay? So that's my only thing to say about the coin trick is it doesn't always work that way. However, if you guys have found that the coin trick works for you, stick with it. For me, I have found that this method here is the easiest way to find the sharpen angles, just by leaning the knife real slowly, and whenever I lose traction, I back off. That's my approach angle. Okay. So I'm gonna. So then that's stropping on the right hand side, and on the left hand side, it's the same grip as your sharpening. So whatever grip that you guys found most comfortable, that's the grip you take. Okay. So let's drop on the right hand side a few times and I'll walk you guys what I do on the left hand side. And I'll go about, if you want to be diligent, you want to go, at least 12 times. And then you go 12 times and you reduce that number by 1 or 2 every single time you guys go back, okay? Or when you turn the knife around. So now, this is the tricky part for a lot of folks. All right, so this, because now to strop, to mirror the strop from this side, okay, from down here, you go from top tip to bottom tip, okay? You have to come at an angle like this, and for a lot of folks, this is a little uncomfortable to reach beyond the stone and to maintain this angle and then come back. Okay, so for me, I've done this how many hundreds of times. So it's actually comfortable or relatively easy for me. So if you are new to sharpening, to hand sharpening, and you're struggling with this angle, okay, so this is what you do. You simply go from here, okay, and then you go from here. You go from the back end to the tip end. That's it. It's the exact same thing. The results will be exactly the same. Okay? That's really easy to do. There. And there. Alright? So notice my fingers aren't so close to the edge right now. It's because I'm actually applying no pressure. I'm only putting my fingers here to kind of stabilize my knife from moving around too much. Okay? So it's not so crucial that you have it so close to the edge when I'm sharpening. You guys notice when I'm sharpening, my fingers are pretty close to the edge because I'm putting more stability on the knife, and I'm also applying a little bit of pressure, okay? But when I'm stropping, your fingers can be a little higher up. It's actually okay. And you simply pull. Okay, you're applying, like I said, no pressure. You can put your weight of your fingers on your knife, and they're applying some weight, but that is it. There is nothing else that you need to do in terms of applying pressure. All right, so let's just drop 10 times. So I'll do it my way, 6 or 7 times, and I'll do it the other way that I suggest that people do. Okay, so this is my angle of approach. All right, so now I'll do the other way. So this is just as valid, like I said. It works just as well. Alright, so that's 6 times each. So now you go back to this side, and the reason why you're going back and forth is, so this is an exaggeration, but your burr is, if this is the apex of your knife, your burr is going to be leaning on one side or the other. So when you strop 12 times, you straighten that burr a little bit, but it's also causing the burr to kind of flex back around. Okay, so when you go 12 times on this side, you go back and it's slightly on this side, and then you reduce it by 2. So every time you reduce that number, you're making that burr flex less and less to the edge and actually making it stand on its end. Okay, so that's why when I go back now, instead of doing it 12 times, I go 10 times. So I go 1, 2, 4, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I don't go to 12. Now, again, 10 times on this side. You're matching the number on the other side. All right, so now we go 8 times. Okay, it's 8 times. Okay, now I'll go 6 times. Okay. Alright, so that's 6 times. And I basically go all the way down to 1, okay? So before I get there though, if you guys can hear it, I don't know if you guys can hear it from your from where you're sitting, the sound is actually getting finer and finer. Okay, there's less and less noise and less grit you can hear with each pass. Okay, 3. Okay, so now I'm going down to reducing 1 stroke per turn. Okay, now go to 2. So when you hear the sound changing, and it's getting finer and finer, it means that you're removing, a lot of the excess burr away, and you're doing a good thing for your knife. Okay, so you can change your position them. I'm actually just doing this for the sake of the demo, but this is my angle here. This is how I polish my knife. Alright, and that is it. So you do that maybe 4 or 5 times with 1 stroke on each side, and that now your burr, again, this is a exaggeration, but your burr should be standing on its end here. So at this point, you can grab a piece of wood and just, you can pull some of that burr off if you want to, but a lot of that burr has been removed. I mean, my edge is pretty sharp right now. Okay, stone's just a little dry. All right, so let's try something here. Let's dry this knife off and let's see how sharp the edge is. All right, I will be right back. Okay, so this may make me look really bad right now, but this is slightly damp paper. As you guys can hear it, it's not very dry, but it should be enough. Okay, so this is the knife I just sharpened. All right, let's try this thing here. Okay, so this is extremely crumpled up paper. You guys can see here. This is as crappy as newspaper can get, but okay, I can still cut really well. Yeah, this is like I said, this is gonna make me look really bad on camera, but that's okay. I don't really care too much. So you guys can see there, really feathering this paper. Let me try to get some better paper here. Alright, maybe this paper here. This is a little less crumbled up. Okay. So, yeah, the knife is fairly sharp, and that's dropping only on the stone, just using the stone itself, not using any newspaper or any sort of compound. So yes, you can get a razor sharp edge with just using stones. You don't need compounds or anything else. Now if you really want to bring it even further than that, you can use some newspaper to do it cheaply. And there's obviously stropping compound that you guys can use with leather strops and whatever else. Maybe I'll do a video of comparing stropping techniques. But that is how I polish my knife. It's actually very easy to do. Hopefully that was helpful. I thank you guys for watching the video. Oh, and here's our cleaning. I'll do a real quick cleaning session here. Alright, so this is my Trocera 3000, and it's starting to load up a little bit. This is my Nagara by Suhiro. This is a 3000 grits stone. When you are using your Nagaras, you want to at least try to match up the stone's grits to their grit. So this is a 3000 grit, and this so happens to be a 3000 grit Nagara. So they tend to work the best for when they're matched up properly. Okay, so So to clean it up, all you need to do is run the stone real easily. Don't apply too much pressure, just kind of just run it up and down the length of the stone. Okay. Now we'll clean the stone up. That's it, and that is your surface. Your surface is now perfectly good. All the major metallic flakes are off of the knife, or I'm sorry, off of the stone. And so that's how I clean my stones. I don't flatten the stones very often, and that's because I don't want to waste stones. And these are only, these are 25 millimeters or so, and so they'll last you a long time. But every time you flatten it, you take off a lot more material than this little guy does. This is actually much softer. These are really, really soft compounds, so they don't really take much of the stone themselves off. So you don't have to worry about your stone being worn down by your Nagara. Okay, Nagara stones are always going to be softer than your whetstones. Okay, because these were meant to go in between the grits and the pores of whetstone. These were meant to shave down metal. Okay, so I have people writing me saying that when I do this, I am prematurely wearing down my whetstone. That is actually completely false. Okay, so anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys for watching, and catch you guys in the next video.